Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 29 of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time, we met our client, a Japanese writer slash scholar who came to England in order to study the English language, only to find himself in this predicament where he has been arrested and has been brought to jail and could potentially die because of Sherlock Holmes's faulty deduction. Seriously, just that's gonna be on his tombstone. He died because Sherlock Holmes thought that rabbits could fly and that the rain was made of chocolate. Anyways, let's get going. Let's examine first. We can't examine, apparently. Goody. So let's head off to the Briar Road. 19th of February. Briar Road. So this is where it happened. Briar Road.
Ah! Look, Mr. Naruto! It's a bench!
Oh wait, never mind. I thought that was a bench for a second. It's a partition.
Look at that regulation male helmet. It's unmistakable. The mascot and yard are here. They're investigating as we speak.
That is their job, you know.
But Mr. Naruto, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventure of Sherlock Holmes, but I never dreamed I'd come this close. To a real Bobby's helmet.
What the helmet?
Of course. I have to try one on one day.
Well, I hope your Hattie dreams come true. What's the Japanese delegation doing here?
Oh, Inspector Gregson.
This isn't on the doors tray, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware.
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate.
So you've been to the holding cells then? Why did you make it to the criminal?
He's not a criminal as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. I swear, I wouldn't be surprised if Gregson and Barack Bazikze have tea together. They sit down in the latter's office and just enjoy tea while smack talking about Japan. Just Gregson. I have to say, Prosecutor Bazikze has some very interesting theories. Well, do what you will, it doesn't bother me. The blokes in court tomorrow, wherever it happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion. The stone cold air of rejection.
Take heart, London at this time of year is full of stone cold air.
That makes it worse somehow. Present the badge, the armband. Inspector Gregson, could I show you this? Am I supposed to know what that is? I've never seen that insignia before. It's worn by defense lawyers in the Empire of Japan as a symbol of their profession. In other words, it's a worthless trinket here in Great Britain. Oh no, it's very important to me. It shows my spirit. Well, your spirit is worthless to me. An English gentleman keeps things like his spirit very much to himself, I'll have you know. Unless it's in the form of a puzzle, in which case we'll share it with the world. Oh.
Don't give up, Mr. Naruto.
It's too late. He's crushed my spirit already. Examine the daily news, the building, the partition. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred.
Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it?
That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could be hiding. Oi, what are you villains doing here? Oh, we just investigating the scene officer. Conspiring with that mustachioed fella from Japan, are ye? Conspiring? Come here to destroy evidence of you. Get out of here before I give you an eating. Go on.
He shooed us away like rats.
Yes, we should give him a wide berth, I think.
What a disappointing experience.
The Snowman.
What a delightful snowman. Hey, Ryuunosuke.
Yes, that.
Do you want to build a snowman?
I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy though.
Oh, it has a scarf, look!
You'd need one if you were put out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one.
I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment, too. We certainly can't afford a scarf.
Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his.
But the person who made the snowman certainly would.
Yes, I know, you're right. Anyways, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. Anything over here? Yes, the bike!
Oh, a British bicycle, look! Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore.
Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling.
It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dresses to allow them to ride as well.
The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. And then 100 years later, here we have poor Phoenix, who does have his license, who does have a car, riding his bike everywhere. Or in my headcanon, Phoenix rides the public bus. Really, I could just imagine Phoenix on the public bus. Phoenix is so adjusted to the weirdness of the world that the public bus is nothing to him.
Goodness, do you dislike bicycles?
No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off the firm ground seems reckless. If you ever try to walk on stilts and fall into a river, I know you'd agree with me.
We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around.
I just love the pity that Susato just sends off.
That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history.
Well, that certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks decidedly worse shape than all the other houses around it.
We must find some cheap lodging ourselves as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right. Cheap. But ideally with reasonably level floors. And then that somehow becomes your office. Oh, look at the windows on that building there.
Are you sure they're windows?
Yes, but they're all filled in with bricks.
Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment.
There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though.
Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place.
About the windows, the road, the street. There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered by carriage tracks.
It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow.
I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems that it would be far safer to walk on the road instead. Like I said, I just love the look of pity that Susato constantly gives Ryuunosuke. Like he's this three-legged puppy that she must take care of.
Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruto, and dressed in all black. I worry Coachman might not see you and you could be flattened by horses.
Well, thank you for the rather small concern. Building, Old Bailey, I don't know. The clouds look so big and heavy in the skies, don't they? And with the dense fog as well, everything looks hazy.
Well, it is known as Foggy London Town.
I can just make out some spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built, though.
Aha! Yes! That must be the Crystal Tower, being built for the great exhibition that's supposed to open in 6 months' time. Apparently, it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides, and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. It's to be the largest exposition in history, isn't it? I can't even begin to imagine it. I want to see this building right here, the big circular building. Do you see all the black smoke rising from the chimneys over there? It says here that in Great Britain, many people heat their homes in winter using coal.
The only chimneys I really remember seeing in Japan were on top of the bathhouse. Do you think some of these homes could be on fire?
Not at all.
Well, even so. That much thick smoke billowing up to the heavens is surely going to turn the whole sky black sooner or later.
Gosh, you may be right about that.
Okay, anything else? Yeah, I just like to see everything that we can get. Got lamp. Okay, carriage.
Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like this to rush to the crime scenes and car away criminals.
You're very well informed, aren't you?
It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London.
Well, just pick up a stone and throw it at one of the windows then.
But that would mean being arrested in order to ride in it. Wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me, my good stone. Better yet, I'll throw you, Ryuunosuke.
And then basically, Susato just throws Ryuunosuke. She yeets him. No, I wasn't serious. Anything else? Okay, let's talk to this guy. That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped with irons.
I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern.
Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on.
Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does no favors at all.
Ugh. Sorry, I accidentally hit the mic. Converse. Scotland Yard.
Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
The Yard? The Yard, a most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and I know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there and with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city.
Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful?
Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you.
Oh, really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses up all the labourers on his beat so they can get off to work. What? He wakes people up? Yup, raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself, going back a bit. I also used rocks.
I had no idea.
The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to go at 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way.
Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama.
On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all of the gas street lamps.
Oh my!
And I suppose in between of all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well.
And chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, more alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeping over from time to time, I admit.
I'd always dreamed of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruto.
Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. About the case. It happened at around 5 in the evening, 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed to the blade from behind. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital. I never said that she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's the old policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still.
Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept.
The local map has been entered into the court record. Anyways, as far as we know, there's no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming that I've seen anyone else around, but
just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present.
I'm sorry to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure.
Oh, sorry.
Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing did go unnoticed. What? We had two very reliable witnesses, no less. It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. There were witnesses now? Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard, which means that anything he says is the truth. It's the code. It's like the bro code. A policeman? That might change things.
And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a bobby. Catching them bang in the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask the policeman a few questions? Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh, I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet with the man beforehand, it seems.
A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed.
Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one more thing. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspect. I heard that was Mr. Sherlock Holmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The color is drained on his cheeks. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings.
I'm sure it was the result of why Mr. Sholmes inspired great deductions.
Fiddle faddle!
Sorry.
The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere just because he thinks his whole crap is his opium. I swear he smokes that opium pipe, and he acts like he's the freaking enlightened man. He acts like he's freaking Aristotle. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around and spouts incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case! Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he?
He is a great out of the Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Jibble jabble! Ever seen this before? Oh yes, that's Rance Magazine.
The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes is published.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And that so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We walk our socks off, every one of us, only to be fronted by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. That man's a danger to Scotland Yard, as he is to all of our criminals. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. I am Batman. I am Rogue. Tomorrow's trial. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? Well, makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. But because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though. Sorry? The Reaper. He hasn't been in court for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only bad people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals?
The violent ones?
That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. But But Mr. Natsune wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely. That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I would be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason's taking an interest. And little does Ryuunosuke and Gregson know it's because the defendant is Japanese. Because we all know that Barack Van Zeke's like, what? A Nipponese has been arrested for killing a woman? Or at least stabbing her? I have to stop this! To the jail!
Really? What's our reason, Inspector?
You think I could tell you what's going on today, that Lord of Darkness? Yes, because Van Zeke's is Dracula. You have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it? Yes, because we all know Barack Van Zeke's is Dracula. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective.
Mr. Naruto, can I make a suggestion?
Oh yes, what is it?
Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this.
By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, exactly.
Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Sholmes for all of this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. It's only mostly that desire.
The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address even.
It's Baker Street.
How did you know that?
It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world.
Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try and find our way there before Susato gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage!
So we're to have a reunion already with the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Okay, let's check the core record. Yes, we're basically seeing our evidence. Why did I just do a buzz just now? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Okay. Move. A new location has been added.
Can we really visit? What do you think? Oh, pinch me! I'm sure I must be dreaming.
Susato.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Sherlock Sholmes.
I swear, I just love that. I just love Susato being a Sherlock Holmes fangirl. It's just such a wonderful thing. Just so pure. 19, and then Kristoff. Yeah, and then meanwhile, I can only imagine just how crushed Susato would feel seeing just Kristoff. Like I said, I honestly believe that Kristoff and Clavier are descendants of Sherlock, because you see how similar Sherlock is to Clavier, just in personality, where basically he has competency, but he does like to joke around a lot. Not to mention, he shares some sprites with the Gavin brothers, as well as basically he looks so similar to them. So basically, I can just imagine Susato. She sees Kristoff, what he's doing to Phoenix, what he's doing to the world, just all the evils Kristoff has committed, and she's just in his. And when Phoenix is sleeping, Susato, she spends her nights in Kristoff's jail cell, glaring at him, and then Kristoff. Why do I feel a dark presence? And then Susato's just glaring at him, trying to flip him. She's trying to Susato take down Kristoff's ass, but Susato can't grab him. Sholmes is sweet. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. It is as described in the stories, Miss Susato? Susato-san.
Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I never really read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be.
The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears in the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruto?
Oh, I suppose I can, yes.
So if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up all the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me.
She's obsessed. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at the present. Excuse me, is anyone home?
Oh, do we have a visitor? Hello? Is there a new case for Mr. Sholmes?
Hello. Wait, aren't you?
Oh, how rude of me. I'll go make some tea at once.
I'm sure it's the same girl. Miss Susato, did you see the girl who was just here?
Oh, yes. Isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The King of Bohemia? Yeah, it says someone who is partially of Bohemian descent. That hurts me a tiny bit, Ryuunosuke. That hurts me a tiny bit.
King Wilhelm Gottfried Sigmund von Ornstein, of course.
Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes for a moment. And look over there!
The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you!
I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too.
Ah, there you are. And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the CzarThwomp experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. Oh, I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilded's trial in the defendant's antechamber.
I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London.
Oh, yes, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know.
Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color?
Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hurrah! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. John tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, surely.
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think?
And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me, I didn't introduce myself, have I? It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here together with Hurley.
Ah, Iris is it? What a lovely name.
What?
What's the matter?
No, wait, this can't be. Did you say your name is Wilson?
What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Oh, I'm Ryuunosuke Naruto, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant, Susato Mikatoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie.
And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I.
Okay, we'll ask those questions in the next episode. Anyways, I really appreciate you sticking around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I'll be coming for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do everything you want. And with that, I'll see you next time. Bye.